It is 2026, and in the world of sim racing technology, 5 years is usually enough time for hardware to become obsolete junk. Yet, here is the Fanatec CSL DD, still sitting on thousands of desks, still being sold, and still dominating the conversation. That practically never happens. But if you are looking at your wallet right now, wondering if this black brick is where your money should go, the answer isn't a simple yes anymore. The market has become ruthless. There are competitors now that simply didn't exist when this launched. So we need to have a very honest conversation about where the CSL DD fits in the modern grid. Is this still the king of value, or are you buying into a legacy platform that's past its prime? And quick heads up, I've dropped a direct link to the current pricing and bundles in the description below. If this video helps you decide, using that link earns me a small commission at no extra cost to you, which keeps the channel running. Let's talk hardware first, because this is where Fanatec made a gamble that actually paid off. When you hold the CSL DD, you realize the genius of the design. The entire chassis is the heatsink. There are no fans, no buzzing, and no hollow plastics. Even by 2026 standards, where we have a lot of flashy RGB bases, this feels utilitarian and dense. It feels like a piece of industrial equipment, not a gaming peripheral. The setup experience is also distinct. This is the Apple approach to sim racing. You clamp it down, plug in the USB-C, and the software just recognizes it. There is very little friction. If you just want to drive and hate tinkering with INI files or complex driver conflicts, this remains the gold standard for a plug-and-play. But we have to talk about the motor inside, because this is where people make the wrong purchasing decision. You'll see it sold as 5 Newton meters out of the box, or as an 8 Newton meter setup when paired with Fanatec's Boost Kit power supply. On the spec sheet, that looks like a small difference. In your hands, they are two entirely different products. At 5 Newton meters, the CSL DD is what I call a teaser. It gives you that delicious granular texture that only direct drive can provide. You feel the grain of the asphalt, you feel the weight transfer. Compared to a gear-driven Logitech or a belt-driven Thrustmaster, it is a revelation. However, 5 Newtons meter has a fatal flaw: clipping. When you're fighting a car in a high-speed corner, the wheel is already using most of its power just to simulate the G-force. If you hit a curb while turning, the motor has nothing left to give you. The signal clips. You don't feel the bump, you just feel a generic heavy resistance. You lose the detail exactly when you need it most. This is why I consider the 5 Newton meter version a financial trap for anyone serious about the hobby. You will buy it, love it for 3 weeks, realize you're missing information, and then end up spending extra money on the 8 Newton meter boost kit anyway. When you run this base at 8 Newtons meter, you aren't paying for heavier steering. You are paying for dynamic range. Because the motor has extra power in reserve, it can simulate the heavy load of the car and the sharp snap of the suspension at the same time. The force feedback becomes high definition. It stops being a vague rumble and starts becoming a language you can read. In 2026, 8 Newton meters is the minimum standard for a true simulation experience. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the competition. 5 years ago, the CSL DD was alone. Today, there are rival bases that, frankly, offer slightly faster slew rates or smoother encoders for the same money. If you A/B test them, the CSL DD can feel just a tiny bit digital or filtered compared to the newest cutting-edge tech. So why buy the Fanatec? 2 reasons: the ecosystem and the console support. This operates as a walled garden. The wheel attaches via the quick release on the front, and peripherals like pedals, shifters, handbrake can plug into the base, so the whole setup can run to your PC over one USB cable. It is neat, tidy, and reliable. If you want a steering wheel that looks like a BMW GT3 rim or a specific Formula wheel, Fanatec simply has the widest catalog of options. You are not just buying a motor, you are buying access to those steering wheels. However, you need to navigate the compatibility minefield. If you are on PlayStation, the standard CSL DD does not work. You need the GT Pro, the PlayStation license base with the Sony security chip inside. Do not buy the standard one and expect it to work. It won't. If you are on Xbox, the security chip is in the steering wheel rim, not the base. So you can buy the CSL DD, but you must pair it with an Xbox license wheel. So what is the final verdict for the CSL DD in 2026? we have to split this into 3 groups. Group 1, the PC racer who wants consistency. If you are hunting for the absolute lowest price per Newton meter, you might find cheaper options from newer brands. But ask yourself, do you want to spend your time driving or troubleshooting driver conflicts? The CSL DD isn't just a motor, it's the ticket to an ecosystem where everything just works together. It might not be the cheapest on paper anymore, but it is still the friction-free choice. Group 2, the console racer. This is still, in my opinion, the sweet spot. Xbox works with the CSLDD Plus and Xbox licensed wheel, while PlayStation requires the GTDD Pro base, and the ability to swap distinct wheel rims makes this the best living room direct drive experience. Group 3, the buyer prone to upgrade-itis. Listen to me carefully. Buy the 8 Newton meters version immediately. If you buy the 5 Newton meters, you represent the people who regret their purchase a month later. The 8 Newton meters configuration unlocks the actual potential of the hardware. The CSLDD is no longer the shiny new toy. It is the reliable workhorse. It's the iPhone of sim racing. It might not have the wildest specs on paper anymore, but the user experience is just smoother than the rest. If you're ready to build your rig, that link is below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want reviews that tell you how it feels, not just what the box says. I'll see you on the track.